Thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. I know it's been a busy. So what have things been like since the announcement this morning? Now, for folks who might not know how you couldn't have seen, yes. Officially, Norwegian Air coming to TF Green. Flights as low as $69, but you got to get them soon because there's only so many of them. Big press conference this morning. What's your day been like since then?
There's a lot of calls, some corrections in press too, with detail. There were a lot of details. These 5 roads out of Providence are just, it's a tremendous success for our state. It's in line with the government wanted. When I interviewed with her, with our board, when I interviewed with them, to get economic development going for the state, each passenger that comes in is going to have a direct spend of $977. If you were to multiply that by, say, at least half of those folks who are coming from over there, we are talking tens of millions of dollars of direct spend. But it's also about, for us, in terms of economic development, it is about creating an atmosphere where other people, in terms of, notice us, Rhode Island, to maybe relocate, maybe the folks that are here that would stay. So all of that is just very exciting, and hopefully we will see expansion in this service in coming years.
So, you've only been here a scant few months.
Yes.
We had named you as one of the 17 to watch in 2017 because knowing you'd come from New Orleans and
yes.
the passenger growth there, 39%, was that the number?
Yes, yeah.
Huge numbers. So when Rhode Island was looking for a new, someone to head up the new airport corporation, what were your thoughts when you looked at Green? Where did you see it positioned in the domestic and international? How did you see it when you looked at it?
I think that you look at when you want to move to another opportunity for. I have 2 boys, Zalma and Azmari, and it is about them. It's about my wife Angela, and so where they would be happy and where they would be comfortable. And so Rhode Island, and by the way, she's from Wisconsin, so she loves snow. And so my kids grew up in Ohio, so they love snow. So that was all good. And then you want to go to a place where, in terms of self-actualization, that you can actually make a difference. And looking at what had happened in Rhode Island since 2005, we had lost 40% of our business. But when you look at the team, we have a tremendous team. The state is a tremendous state. I think the governor, the speaker, the Senate president, these folks are really into getting the state forward, and that's the team you want to join. I have our board is just phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. John Savage, our board chair, I wish he sell it at the airport. These are the folks that you want to go partner with to go get something done. I'm just so lucky to be here, and I'm just lucky that we were able to get this opportunity for our Rhode Island wonderful state.
Well, it was a great press conference this morning, and I know I spoke with you a little bit saying, okay, we've got Norwegian. What's next?
I think, so in terms of what's next, our strategy is to fan out into Europe. We need Toronto. If it's Air Canada, Porter, or WestJet, we need Toronto. We need to go into Latin America for medical tourism coming into our area, and the students, we have about 200,000 of those that they could go visit and come to schools here. We have the best schools on earth, for that matter, and also but more importantly even, to get into the middle central United States and to western United States. I'm talking about Denver, DFW, Houston, Las Vegas, Phoenix, Los Angeles. These are the places where we need to go next. And in the next few years, we're going to work very, very hard. So we're talking to airlines, and we're going to try to convince them to come to this wonderful, tell them what I have bought, and I think that it'll be an easy sell.
So does it have speaking of snow, does it have a snowball effect? When you get a Norwegian Air, do you go to folks and say, here's our latest win, here's why we're hot, here's why you want to come to Rhode Island?
Yeah, I think that absolutely, because what happens is that when a low-cost air carrier comes in, like say Norwegian, and I don't want to name some of the other names because we are in competitive. Even on Norwegian, we were competing with Pease, we were competing with Connecticut, Bradley, and I'm glad we won. But the competition continues, and so there's so much that I can say. But when a low-cost carrier comes in, not only that they bring in the passenger that they bring in on their aircraft, but what they also do is that the competitive knee-jerk reaction of other airlines to them, they lower their fares. So when the fares go down, you start passing down, bring these passengers in. They go into our restaurant, they go into our hotels, to our gas station, to our laundry, to use our services. So there is demand for folks to fill jobs in this service sector. So we can create, so there is money that folks can use to basically take care of their family. At the end of the day, economic development is about quality of life. So we're in the business of quality of life.
Yeah, and then we were having those discussions when we came back from the press conference today. I mean, just to see the energy and to have this major announcement. I mean, TF Green's really positioned, in your opinion, to be an economic catalyst for the state. And you mentioned that direct impact, but you started to mention some of the indirect. I mean, you've come from other airports where you've seen that, when you've seen the growth. How can it stimulate the economy? I mean, what you've seen.
So when you look at NCR leaving the Cincinnati area, said the airport is not doing forums, so they needed better airfares. And when you look at, so they left that area because of the airport, according to them, when you read it on Google, and they went to Atlanta. And they picked Atlanta. This is NCR, National Cash Register. They went to Atlanta with thousands of jobs, and the reason again was the airport.
It was the airport.
And same thing with Chiquita. When they left that same area for the same reason, they picked Charlotte for the same reason, because of the airport. So airport, when you look at Brookings Institute studies and others, that connectivity plays into a company's survival advantage. The ones that are here and the ones that we would like to have come into our state with good paying jobs. So our kids don't go to other states looking for jobs, so that we have enough of it here. Maybe they can come to our state and get employed.
Okay, so I've asked you, let's see, the who's going to come, what you're working on next. I mean, how much of your job are you based here in Warwick, and how much are you out traveling yourself?
To be honest with you, I was gone last week, all week, and we had 10 airline meetings. And I'm thinking maybe two are maybe interested in coming. But that's a dialogue that continues. And these sort of discussions don't happen overnight. They have to really, because there's a lot of investment. When an airline says they will take a certain route, there is an investment. Norwegian, two of these aircraft based here, that's $200 million worth of investment here. And if they weren't able to sell these aircrafts with all those crews, those 150 jobs that they're hiring here, and all the rest of the marketing funds and others that they are spending, that's a lot of investment. But they are, I'm hoping that that they will succeed. But we at the airport, we're in the business of bringing the horse to the water.
That's all you can do. Yes, bring them over.
Horse drinking is something that I hope that Rhode Islanders will see value in going to Ireland and Scotland. Hopefully there will be another announcement coming out of Norwegian for another destination next month, hopefully.
They said that today.
So
looking forward to that. So when folks do fly over to Ireland, and if they want to stay in Ireland, they can stay. But talk to me about, talk about the European market a little bit. I mean, how easy is it once you get to Ireland to go to other destinations?
So there was, I saw a picture of Ryanair CEO sitting right next to Bjorn, who is the CEO of Norwegian. And he had his hand in his coat pocket, and that was the wonderful picture. They were both laughing. I think what we see is maybe there is a partnership developing between Ryanair and Norwegian. So you get from here to these destinations, and maybe for another $50-$60 onward, Ryanair would take you to
Belgium, someplace else in Europe.
Absolutely, and that is something that would be you can expand your plans and take your family for summer, and I think their service is wonderful. When you look at the comments of how people are happy with Norwegian, so I hope that my neighbors in Rhode Island would pick to fly them.
Now, you've seen, we've all seen the reaction. A lot of tickets, I believe, were already sold today. Yes. But, one of the things, you came here to Rhode Island after New Orleans. What surprised you about Rhode Island when you moved here?
I think this is, so when I came here, I bought a house in East Greenwich. And when I was trying to decide if I should buy that house, I called somebody in Cranston, and if he's listening, I mean no disrespect, but I called him and I said, Mr. So-and-so, do you have time for an inspection at my house? He goes, absolutely. And I said, could you do it Thursday? And he's in Cranston, and he goes, yes, I can certainly do it on Thursday. And I said, all right. He goes, well, where is it? And I said, well, it is in East Greenwich. He goes, wow, that's just too far. And I think that I can get used to that.
So you've gotten the taste of that Rhode Island. Oh, if you go from Newport to Providence, you have to pack a bag.
Yeah. I think it's wonderful. I think I can get used to it, and that is, and that's quality of life, and that's wonderful. And I'm also surprised of how beautiful it is in Hilly, and I think some of the nicest people on earth. Oh. My wife says the same thing.
Okay, well, you heard it here from Iftikhar Ahmad. I'm so glad you came in today after the press conference, and we look forward to other announcements moving forward. So I appreciate your time today. We'll talk with you very soon. Okay, Iftikhar Ahmad with the big announcement today with TF Green, the Airport Corporation, that Norwegian Air is coming to Providence. So